Entering the military requires an oath to obey lawful orders. Commanding officers can send troops into a suicide mission if it serves the greater purpose. When obeying such commands, it's necessary for those troops to believe a commander wouldn't order them into harm's way unless it was necessary, that the action serves a greater good, and that it's not an illegal order. Troops have to make a choice, to follow the orders of those appointed over them, or to disobey. This list is about men who disobeyed orders, because lives were at stake, and they decided that saving those lives was worth the risk. In no particular order, these are 10 moments when troops became heroes after disobeying orders. Number 1, Dakota Meyer, U.S. Marine Corps, Afghanistan. In 2009, Dakota Meyer was at the Battle of Ganjgal, where his commander ordered him to disregard a distress call from ambushed Afghan and American troops, 4 of them friends, pinned down by possibly hundreds of enemy fighters. He repeatedly asked permission to drive his truck to help relieve his outnumbered and surrounded friends and allies. He and another Marine finally hopped in a Humvee to take action. Meyer manned the gun, while the other drove the vehicle. They drove right into the firestorm, loading the beleaguered Afghans, mostly wounded, onto their Humvee. As weapons jammed, Meyer would grab another and another. They drove into the melee 5 times, until they finally came across Meyer's friends, now fallen, and pulled them out too. Meyer received the Medal of Honor for his actions. Number 2, Daniel Hellings, British Army, Afghanistan. Daniel Hellings was on a joint patrol in Helmand Province with Afghan allies when his patrol was hit by an explosion. An improvised explosive device was detonated in an alleyway, injuring 2 of the patrollers. Then another went off, injuring a 3rd man. Hellings' commander ordered an immediate withdrawal. Instead, Hellings got down on the ground and started a fingertip search for more bombs, and he found some. He found 4 of them. He was on the ground, poking around in the dirt until he found all of the IEDs. For his bravery and quick thinking, he was awarded the Queen's Gallantry Medal. Number 3, Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov, Soviet Army, Cold War. Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov was in command of a nuclear early warning system on the morning of September 26, 1983, when that system detected a probable launch of American nuclear missiles. Suspecting it was a false alarm, he disobeyed the standing order of reporting it to his commanding officers, who likely would have retaliated with their nuclear arsenal. In this case, doing nothing was doing something big, as in completely averting World War III and mutually assured destruction, because it was indeed a false alarm. The event also showed a flaw in the USSR's early warning system and helped to avert further misunderstandings. Number 4, Benaya Rein, Israel Defense Forces, Second Lebanon War. Several Israeli soldiers lacking accurate maps became lost in 2006 while downrange in southern Lebanon. As they attempted to get their bearings, about 20 men appeared in the distance, and the commander, thinking they were Hezbollah fighters, ordered Benaya Rein to open fire. But Rein wasn't so sure. He instead took a tank out to the location to investigate. When he arrived, he found 20 of his fellow IDF soldiers. Because he refused to follow his commander's order, the lives of those soldiers were saved, his mother told an Israeli paper. Rein would later be killed after the tank he was commanding was hit by a Hezbollah missile. He was one of the last Israelis killed during the war. Number 5, Lieutenant David TEICH, U.S. Army, Korean War. Lieutenant David TEICH was in a tank company near the 38th parallel in 1951 when a radio distress call came in from the 8th Ranger Company. Wounded, outnumbered, and under heavy fire, the Rangers were near TEICH's tanks and facing 300,000 communist troops moving steadily toward their position. TEICH wanted to help, but was ordered to withdraw instead. TEICH went anyway. He led 4 tanks over to the Rangers' position and loaded up so many of them on each tank they covered up the tank's turrets. He still gets letters from the troops he saved that day, thanking him for disobeying his order to move out. Number 6, Corporal Desmond Doss, U.S. Army, World War II. Corporal Desmond Doss wanted to serve. He just wasn't willing to kill to do it and refused every order to carry a weapon or fire one. However, Doss would do anything to save his men, repeatedly braving Japanese fire to pull the injured to the rear. As his unit climbed a vertical cliffside at Okinawa, the Japanese opened up with artillery, mortars, and machine guns, turning his unit back and killing or wounding 75 men. Doss retrieved them, one by one, loading them onto a litter and down the cliff. A few days later, in the mouth of a cave, he braved a shower of grenades thrown from 8 yards away, dressed wounds, and made 4 trips to pull his soldiers out. He treated his own wounds and waited 5 hours for a litter to carry him off. On the way back, the 3 men carrying him had to take cover from a tank attack. While waiting, Doss crawled off his litter, treated another injured man, and told the litter bearers to take the other man instead. While waiting for them to return, he was hit in the arm by a sniper and crawled 300 yards to an aid station. He was the first conscientious objector to earn the Medal of Honor. Number 7. Lieutenant Thomas Currie Diver Derrick, Australian Imperial Force, World War II. The Battle of Saddleburg in the Pacific nation of New Guinea was as hard fought as any in the Pacific theater. It took the Australians a grudgingly slow 8 days to push the Japanese out of the town, and they paid dearly for it. On November 24, 1943, Lieutenant Thomas Currie Derrick was ordered to withdraw his platoon because the CO didn't think he could capture the heights around Saddleburg. Derrick's response was, quote, "Bugger the CO, just give me 20 more minutes and we'll have this place," end quote. Derrick climbed a vertical cliff by himself, holding on with one hand and throwing grenades with the other, stopping only to fire his rifle. He cleared out 10 machine gun nests that night and forced the Japanese to withdraw. The Aussies captured Saddleburg, and Derrick was awarded the Victoria Cross. Number 8. First Lieutenant Frank Luke Jr., U.S. Army Air Corps, World War I. In September 1918, First Lieutenant Frank Luke Jr. was grounded by his commanding officer and told that if he had disobeyed, he would be charged with being AWOL. Luke, an ace with 15 aerial victories, flew anyway, going out to find military reconnaissance balloons. Balloons might sound like an easy target, but they were heavily defended by anti-aircraft weapons. He knocked out 3 balloons that day before he was forced down by machine gun fire. He managed to land and exit the plane, and he kept fighting the Germans with his sidearm until a bullet wound killed him. Luke was the first pilot to receive the Medal of Honor. Number 9. Major General Daniel Sickles, Union Army, Civil War. Major General Daniel Sickles' disobedience during the Battle of Gettysburg changed the momentum of the war and may have changed the entire history of the United States. In a move historians haven't stopped talking about for 150 years, Sickles moved his men to Peach Orchard instead of Little Round Top, where General George G. Meade had directed him. This move prompted Confederate General James Longstreet to attack the Union troops in the orchard in the wheat field, nearly destroying the Union forces there, which admittedly sounds terrible. But that Confederate move allowed Union troops to flank them in a counteroffensive and completely rout the Confederate forces, winning Gettysburg for the Union and ending Robert E. Lee's invasion of the North. Sickles himself lost a leg in the fighting, but he received the Medal of Honor and helped preserve Gettysburg as a National Historic Site after the war. Number 10. Lieutenant Albert Battle and Major Max Liedtke, German Wehrmacht, World War II. Albert Battle and Max Liedtke served in the German Wehrmacht during World War II, where they bravely resisted their own country to save Jewish lives. On July 26, 1942, the German SS and the Gestapo made their first attempt to liquidate the Przemysl Jewish ghetto, but they were blocked by Lieutenant Albert Battle and Major Max Liedtke. They ordered their men to block the bridge over the River San, which was the only route of deportation from the ghetto. They then threatened to open fire on the advancing troops, while secretly working within the ghetto to save as many lives as they could. 100 Jews were hidden by Battle's men in the barracks of a local military base, sparing them from grisly fates in the Belzec death camp. Both men would be posthumously recognized as one of the righteous among the nations for risking their lives during the Holocaust to save Jews from extermination by the Nazis. So that's our list. Who are your favorite heroes in history? Leave us a comment and let us know. Maybe we'll make a video about them next.